We know what is transient response and what is steady state response. So, is the screen visible, Hardik?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, we are familiar with transient response, steady state response, frequency response, then how to model the system, how to get the transfer function by simultaneous equation method and by block diagram reduction method. Now, what is classical solution? The main intention of control engineer, as a control engineer, what you have to see, that how to make the system stable forever, and how to achieve the stability of the system as early as possible. That is the role of control engineer. So classical solution, there is, just remember, classical solution, it gives the transient response as well as steady state response of the systems. You are aware that there are different techniques. During the first two lectures only I said that there are different techniques. For example, Bode plot, it gives you the steady state response. Root loopers, it gives you transient response. So like that, classical solution, it gives you both the responses. That is transient response as well as steady state. So here I will read it for you. The stability of the system is associated only with the transient response form. Roots of C means characteristics equation, which is the equation whose solution yields the complementary function, must be negative for the system to be stable. That is, looking at the, like you have modeled the system, you got the equation, you got the characteristic equation. So from the characteristic equation, you got the roots. Now there are different type of roots. That is, you have real, you have imaginary, you have real positive, real negative, imaginary positive. So looking at the nature of the root, you can conclude upon the system stability. That is, if the roots are negative, that is negative real, then the system is stable. So you don't have to do complete solution. So just by looking at the roots. Then another technique is Laplace transform solution of the system equation. So this also, Laplace transform also gives you steady state solution as well as transient solution. So here a linear differential equation. See, you once you solve mathematical model, you will get a linear differential equation. So a LD in time domain, it can be transformed to an equivalent algebraic equation in Laplace operator domain. That is, differential equation we are converting into Laplace domain. Now we can use the tables to solve this equation. Laplace, I will show you. Just hang on. Now OD is nothing but ordinary differential equation. So now this Laplace equation using tables can be again transformed to time domain, which will give you the desired solution. That is, solution which contains both the term transient as well as steady state, TR, and steady state. It will also include the evaluation of response coefficient, substitution, substitute Laplace. So how to find out this? How to evaluate response coefficient? You have to just substitute Laplace operator S for D. So D is a differential operator, so that has to be substituted by S. So higher order transfer function can be reduced to the sum of complementary solution and particular solution. You will come to know when I take examples. Then another technique is analog computer solution. So analog computer solution and root locus. It gives you transient response. It gives you transient response. What is this analog computer solution? You, as a ME student, should get familiar with the MATLAB, and the MATLAB, you can simulate the system. Any engineering system you can simulate, and the system can be represented by using some voltage signals, and you get a solution as a time domain. Hmm. So this solution you can see it on the screen on the oscilloscope, or you can see it on the chart recorder also. So you get the solutions in the form of voltage and current, and that can be again converted into magnitude and time domain. Yes, so this also you will come to know when you do the examples. Right now you just remember that there are some techniques like classical solution for getting both the responses, Laplace for getting both the responses, that is transient and steady state, and analog computer is used only for transient response. This is your definition of Laplace is. So that we will come later. Before that, we'll study what is classical solution. Now you can see here two curves. Okay, one is continuous and another is dotted. So this is my input disturbance, that is Hi, the continuous one, not the dotted one, the continuous one, that is this, that is Hi is equal to, or theta I is equal to H sine omega t, where H is the amplitude. So this continuous one is a disturbance or input signal. Then I have output signal, that is theta O, which will comprise of two responses, theta O1 plus theta 2. One is transient and another is steady state. Here I have taken theta O2 as steady state response, and this is what is your transient response. So transient response means it is not stable, and afterwards now, after some time is elapsed, the system becomes stable. That is this curve. So initially it was dotted, okay, and it was not stable. So after some time it has become stable. Now steady state response is given by this relation, that is b sine of omega t minus phi, where b is nothing but hk omega t upon 1 plus omega square t square, and phi is your phase angle, omega is your angular frequency, t is instantaneous time, b is the magnitude. You will come to know all this. So now the final or total response can be given by this relation. This derivation again has been removed because of the reduction in the number of hours. So this is your response is divided into two parts, theta 1 and theta O2. So one is your transient response and another is your steady state response. So there are classical solution method, Laplace method, and analog computer method. So frequency, this is what is called as the frequency response analysis. So frequency response analysis provides a way to describe the nature of dynamic system without having to develop full solution of system equation with various disturbances. Frequency response data can be plotted in linear, Cartesian, polar, and logarithmic forms. You can represent by plots. These polar plots are called as the Nyquist plot. Logarithmic plots are called as the Bode plot. BODE. Polar plot will consist of phase and amplitude against the frequency. That means there are three variables we are plotting on a single graph: phase and amplitude against frequency. Cartesian plot, it will not be possible to plot this. Hmm. So three methods are classical solution method, which is only used for first order. Laplace method, it converts time domain in Laplace form to get response and again convert in time domain. Analog computer, so you simulate, you represent variable by electrical voltages, and you are familiar with the first degree, that is k upon 1 plus td, and this is your second degree transfer function, that is k upon k1 d square. The output or the total response is given by theta O1 plus theta O2. This is your any differential equation solution will consist of two parts. One part is particular solution, that is nothing but steady state response, and theta O2, that is complementary part or complementary solution, that is nothing but transient transient part. Okay, now you know there are three types of input. Okay, now look at this table carefully. Again, the proofs for all these responses has been withdrawn for this semester. So theta O1, as I told, that it is particular solution or it is called as the steady state solution. Theta O2 is your complementary solution, that is transient, and theta O is total response. Now here you note carefully. I hope now you are settled. uh, so this is theta I, that is disturbance. Three type of disturbance, that is H, which is nothing but step input, HT, that is your ramp input, and H sine omega t, that is your sinusoidal input. T is instantaneous time, omega is angular frequency, H is the amplitude. So be comfortable. Theta I, look, concentrate on this table. Theta I is step input, ramp input, and sinusoidal input. Now come down. theta O1, that is nothing but steady state response. Now if my step input is H, then my steady state response theta O1 is Hk, where K is a gain. If my disturbance is Ht, then my steady state response or particular solution is this, and this is for the sinusoidal. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. K is a gain constant, small t is the instantaneous time, and capital T is the time required. Time period. That is time required to complete one cycle. Now coming to your transient response, that is theta O2. Any differential equation will give two outputs, that is particular solution and complementary solution. Complementary solution is nothing but it represents transient response. So if my input is step, that is H, then my transient response or complementary solution is this, minus Hk e raised to minus t by 2. Similarly, if it is ramp, it is this, and if it is sinusoidal, it is this. Now this is pretty simple. Now theta is nothing but this plus this and this. So if we add this and this, you will get this. How? This plus this is nothing but you take Hk common. So from here, one will remain, that is this, and from here minus e to the power minus t upon t, that will remain. Coming to ramp input now, steady state. This is your complementary. Add it. Now instead of taking Hk, I am taking Hkt common. So if I take Hkt common, so from this bracket there will be t by t minus 1, and from this term you will have only e to the power minus t upon t. I hope this is basic algebra is clear.
Yes, sir.
And same thing here also. Add this and this. So now from this, when you adding, you take Hk upon under root of 1 plus omega square t square common. Now this is no square root. This is 1 plus omega square t square. So now when you take Hk upon this common, so from यहाँ से you will have sine of omega t minus phi, and from here you will have e raised to minus t upon t, that is from this. So this into this, that will give you this, and this into this, that will give you this. I hope it is clear. This there is no square root sign here. All right.
Yes, sir.
Phi
Yes,
is
sir.
nothing. Yeah, phi is nothing but the phase angle, and phase angle tan of phi is given by tan of phi will be omega t, and sine of phi. Therefore, sine of phi will be like you make a right angle triangle. So tan of phi is omega t upon tan of phi is equal to omega t upon 1. So that's opposite side upon adjacent side. So opposite side will be omega t, adjacent side will be 1, and hypotenuse will be, what will be hypotenuse? In a right angle triangle, if one side is omega t, other side is 1, what will be hypotenuse? Any one of you? Hello. Hello, what happened? नेटवर्क लॉस हो गया क्या? हेलो हार्दिक, वैदेही. हेलो. 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 आर यू देयर?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I'm asking, in a right angle triangle, if one side is omega t and other side is 1, what will be hypotenuse?
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Uh, Sir, did you ask for were you asking something?
Yeah, what I'm asking, in a right angle triangle,
Yes.
if one side is omega
Hello.
t
Yes,
and
sir.
other side is 1, what will be hypotenuse?
Sir, it will be under root omega square t square plus 1.
1. Okay. So now when tan of phi is equal to omega t, I can write tan of phi is equal to omega t upon 1. Okay, so opposite side is omega t. So sine of phi will be opposite upon hypotenuse, that is nothing but omega t upon under root of 1 plus omega square t square, because sine is opposite upon hypotenuse. Alright. Now this also you are familiar. Now if I want to represent this by graph, so how do I represent? Let us plot this theta O2 here. So this is a graph of time t on x-axis and amplitude on y-axis. So now look at this. When t is equal to 0, what is the value of theta O2? Any one of you? When t is equal to 0, what is the value of theta O2? Hello?
Minus HK.
Minus hk, because e raised to 0. So when t, look at this graph, when t is equal to 0, theta O2 will be minus hk. That is this. And you go on substituting the values of t. Okay. So this will be a exponential graph. Now what about this theta O1 graph? Theta O1 is step input, that is constant. So positive hk. This. Now when I combine this and this graph, this is minus hk and this is plus hk. So when t is equal to 0, my final output will be 0. Now at any moment, these values are less than hk, isn't it? This is my maximum value is minus hk. So when I add this and this, I am going to get a positive value. So my graph will be like this. So this is my output and this is my input disturbances. Similarly now ramp input. Now when t is equal to 0, when t is equal to 0, my response will be hkt, that is this hkt. This is my origin O एक्स एक्सिस ऐसा निकाले HKT, and as I go on taking the values of small t, the graph will go like this. Similarly, now theta O1, that is steady state response, is HK into t minus t. So now when t is equal to 0, this value will be minus HKT. So it is like this, minus HK2 to this. You add this and you will get the output graph like this. And this is my input disturbance, that is theta I is equal to HT. Here this is my input disturbance. So at any time t, you can find out the error. You can find out the error. Now over here at this point, at this point you can look at this cursor. At this point my input is equal to response, so there is no error. Similarly, now suppose if I take this, if I draw a line from here to here, so at this time t, my input disturbance is this much and my response is this much. So this portion, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, that will be my error. That will be my error. Similarly, when it crosses like this, so at this particular point, my input disturbance will be equal to response. So I can predict when my system, whether my system will be stable or what will be the error between input and output at any given time t. Now over here it is similarly you can find out for sinusoidal also. Now this is my response. So taking various values of t, I have got this, this, then added, so I get this. And I can superimpose my input disturbance, which is sinusoidal. So at any given time t, you can calculate the error. Like suppose I want to find out at t at this point. So I draw a line here. So this portion will be error. This portion will be error. So this is the advantage of graphical representation. Okay. Now suppose my sinusoidal input is sine of 2t. Look here, I'll zoom it. My sinusoidal input is sine of 2t. So that is nothing but, what is my sinusoidal input is h sine of omega t. Okay, so how to find out the response? How to find out the response? So my response for sinusoidal input is this. This is what. Now when the input disturbance is given as h is equal to sine of 2t, what is the value of capital T? Anyone? What is the value of capital T? Okay, I will explain you this sum right from the beginning. This is a numerical which you have to do on MATLAB or on the graph paper. The transfer function is given, first order transfer function is given by this relation, that is theta O upon theta I is equal to 3 upon 1 plus 2d. Okay. So what is my first order transfer function? That is k upon 1 plus td. So if you compare this with this equation, what will be the value of k? Value of k will be 3. The value of capital T will be 2. And what about h and omega? So that depends upon the input. Okay, that depends upon the input. Now, suppose the input is given as sine of 2t. So, what is my sinusoidal input? My sinusoidal input is nothing but h sine omega t. Remember this, h sine of omega t. This is my sinusoidal input is. Okay, now you compare that with this sine of 2t. So, the value of h will be 1. Okay, sine of 2t. So that means value of omega will be 2, and k and capital T that you get from this first order. Okay. Now what you have to do? You know h, you know omega, you know k, you know t. Now you take various values of small t and you substitute in this equation for various values of small t. Now you have h, you have k, you have omega, you have capital T. Okay, you can also find out phi, because phi is equal to tan inverse of omega t. So you know the value of phi also, and only variable is small t. So you go on changing the values of small t from 0 to infinity and plot the graph of this response against small t. So this is what is your third assignment is. So the third assignment is plot the response for a sinusoidal input xi or sinusoidal input sine of 2d for first order equation theta o upon theta I is equal to 3 upon 1 plus 2d. Any doubt here? Are they?
No, sir.
No, na? So you have to just change the values of small t only. See now h k root of 1 plus omega square t square ये तो constant हो जाएगा, बराबर है? Here also you will get a constant value. This also will get a constant value. Correct? No? And you have to just substitute. You can form a equation calculator के ऊपर, or you can use MATLAB and change the values of t. On the MATLAB you will directly get the graph, and if you are not familiar with MATLAB yet, then you can use a graph paper to plot. Okay, so you have to plot two graphs. You have to impose. One is your input disturbance, h is equal to sine of omega t. That is, your input disturbance is sine of 2t, and then on that only you have to impose your output graph. Okay, ठीक है, we'll stop here. If you have any doubt, you please ask.
Sir, can you give the question for, for third assignment?
Yeah,
What
I
you
will.
said now.
Yeah, I will. I'll upload it in the classroom. Okay, and in
Uh,
that I will
okay.
add two more graphs. That is, if my input is step input, uh, plot the output, and if my input is ramp input, plot the output. So you have to just
Okay, sir.
uh, you have to just use this final solution, final formula for plotting the graph. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay, chalo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.